Hello guys and welcome back to Ballast Media Production Season 4, and this of course is going to be a continuation of where I left off earlier. I mean, there has been a month to 5 week delay, which I'm kind of disappointed with. I've been relocated recently, so I couldn't actually get the chance to actually record new episodes. So here I am, I've got a quiet moment, and I'm going to take full advantage of this quiet moment to bring you more episodes for the channel. Okay, so this episode will mainly be about video games that would make awesome cartoon series. Okay, so recently this year we did get an announcement that Netflix were going to be doing a Castlevania cartoon series, which was going to be released later this year. And I just thought to myself, what other video game would make an amazing cartoon series? So I'm going to give you my opinion on what video games I'd like to see as cartoon series, and you guys can agree or disagree with my picks, and you guys can comment as well on what you'd like to see as a video game turned cartoon series. Now I'm going to try and name these video games, and then I'm going to try and compare them to other, cartoon series in terms of tone. That way you'll have an idea of my pitch. Okay, so first off, I'd love to see a Crash Bandicoot cartoon series. Now that Crash Bandicoot is coming back in HD in the glorious new graphic engine, I'd love to see him back maybe on the small screen. We've got a glimpse of what that would have been like with the unused kind of animated opening that was kind of released last year, and that animation style would have been actually perfect for a Crash Bandicoot cartoon series. I would have loved seeing something like in the style of a Crash Bandicoot cartoon series similar to Tasmania, which was released way back in the 90s. They would have had similar, styles and protagonists between Taz and Crash Bandicoot, both a mute character who communicates in his own way, surrounded by lots of cool and crazy wacky characters, and just seeing that fantastic dynamics. I think that would have made for a great cartoon series. Crash Bandicoot cartoon series, it would have been amazing. I'm going to have to mention Uncharted. I know Uncharted has been struggling for years and years and years to become a live action movie. I think they should take the opportunity to make it into a cartoon series, a really adventurous cartoon series. I mean, the thing about Uncharted is, Uncharted was never too over the top in terms of violence. I'm sure you can break guys' necks left, right and center, but it also had a kind of a PG-13 feel to it in terms of the character dynamics, even the dialogue. So could you imagine a cartoon series similar in the style of Johnny Quest or Tintin? In other words, you'd have Nathan Drake, you'd have Sully going on these big adventures all over the world. It would have been so cool and be so great to see. So seeing an Uncharted cartoon series, that would be awesome, I think. Other thing I want to mention is Onimusha. Onimusha is such an underrated Capcom series, and I'd love to actually see it as a cartoon series. I feel that that Japanese culture, the samurai, the way it blended, history. I think it was just so cool, and I think that would be just great for a cartoon series. I think because Samurai Jack would be an obvious influence for a Onimusha, cartoon series, and now that Samurai Jack has come back for one final season, I think we would need another kind of replacement, maybe a more darker, more serious version of Samurai Jack with Samanosuke and Nobunaga. The battle between them two, the personal battle between them two, would make a really cool and awesome cartoon series. I'd also like to mention Medieval, which was way back in 1998, and that was heavily inspired by, of course, Tim Burton, Nightmare Before Christmas. I mean, that itself would make for an awesome cartoon series, maybe done stop motion style as well, because it was inspired by stop motion style in Tim Burton. And once again, kind of have it similar in style to the idea of having a near mute character going on all these great adventures, done in the style of, Corpse Bride, done in the style of, of course, Nightmare Before Christmas. Just have that wonderful creativity style to it. Ratchet and Clank. I know with Ratchet and Clank it had, the CG movie, which was last year, and it completely bombed, but I appreciate what that movie done. It brought back the character actors from the games to reprise their role, and it used the animation style of the video game, which I also greatly appreciate as well. And it stayed faithful throughout, but it just wasn't, it was a bit cliche driven. So if they done like maybe a cartoon series following the adventures of Ratchet and Clank done in style of maybe, Futurama, or, Buzz Lightyear of Star Command, something similar like that. You see all Ratchet and Clank's, the weaponry done over a course of, 16 to 24 episodes per season. Each episode 20 minutes long, maybe 30 minutes long. Just really fun episodes filled with quibs and jokes and humour, and I think it'd be just really cool and really great. I think my next one that I'm going to have to mention is Shadow of the Colossus. I think that'd make for a really cool, deep cartoon series. And I think cartoon series that, once again, is kind of, it doesn't need to be loud. It can be a story told through imagery rather than, dialogue. And that would be really cool. Maybe like 18 episodes. Maybe one episode pilot centering about the Wanderer and his quest, and then 16 episodes each one about the Colossi, and then a final episode, so 18 episodes in total, done in the style of the similar animation that was done with the Three Brothers story in Harry Potter and Deadly Hallows Part 1. I think that would be really cool. Or even better would be the creative team behind a lot of Monsters and Men's music videos, and those guys are We Were Monkeys, and they do absolutely fantastic work with kind of creative imagery, and visually their stuff is stunning, and that visual style would really match the Colossi in Shadow of the Colossus. I think it would really, really work. It would work so well. And of course I'm going to have to mention, of course, the Legacy of Kain series, because the Legacy of Kain series has so much lore to it, and it has such a great, look and feel to it. Nosgoth, the vampires, the creature designs, all of it is absolutely fantastic. And if that was done in something in style of Vampire Hunter D, in terms of maybe the animated style or something similar to that, I think it would really work. Maybe make it into more of a mature cartoon rather than something for kids. It'd be really cool. And those are just my choices for video games that would make for awesome cartoon series. Tell me in the comment section below, what would you like to see? Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you like what you see.